Money makes the world go round, and it certainly has the mobile industry spinning as operators, banks, and service providers converge on the space, each trying to carve out their own lucrative niche of the mobile payments pie. Here at the GSMA Summit in Singapore, mobile payments are under the microscope, and money is very much on everybody's mind. Mobile money may still be in its relative infancy, but it's growing at a spectacular rate with over 100 deployments globally. Indeed, over just a few years, people have already come to accept that mobile payment technology has the potential to change lives of people world over, both the banked and the unbanked.
The developing world's going very strongly, actually. There's over 100 live deployments now across the emerging markets. And we've seen an increase over the last couple of years in those sort of deployments. I think what we're now seeing is that a very similar process that the emerging markets went through is happening again in the developed markets.
Yeah, I think it's a great question. I think over time, people will be able to leave their wallets at home and just bring their phone. But I think in most markets, in developed markets, making payments is really convenient using your Visa card. So I think that people will have both their wallet and their mobile and their Visa on their mobile phone for many years. But I think we are going to get to a point sometime in the future where all you need is your mobile phone.
Over 1.7 billion people own a phone but have no bank account, presenting a valuable opportunity for operators, service providers, and users alike.
But the one element that we think has most potential is true branchless banking. So neither a mobile wallet nor simply a SMS overlay to an existing bank account infrastructure, which will enable both banks and operators to jointly access and serve the majority of Indonesian population who do not have a bank account today, which is approximately 80%.
Emerging markets, where you really are talking about basic financial services, electronic payment services for the unbanked, the focus isn't on all those value-added services, it's on a low-cost payment.
Certainly, there is no lack of innovation in the space, with mobile broadband, banking, social media, and traditional telecommunications all coming together to forge a new and thriving industry.
So Ericsson works with over 400 mobile network operators around the world, and it has a very strong pedigree in terms of integrating complex networks. And one of the things that we think is very important is interoperability between M-wallets around the world.
Not that the golden path to a mobile payments future isn't fraught with challenges or obstacles. Asking banks and telcos to work together has its difficulties.
We were there when it became the battle between banks versus mobile phone companies. I think that's kind of played itself out, and we've had a coming to terms across all the different operators and all the different banks to say that we can work together to create a solution.
It's interesting, a lot of people use the word battle, and I think externally, if you're looking at it, there is a bit of animosity externally when people consider the competitive positions of these companies. But when you actually talk to the companies, they're very aware of the value that each of the companies brings. So, as I mentioned before, a bank can't really go out and launch an NFC service effectively without engaging with the operator.
I think the reality of it is that the customers have an integration with their mobile phone operator, especially if you look at someone who's prepaid. We as a bank are looking at, and the products are through FX Micropay, what we're trying to do is be a wholesale provider to the operators or to hubs that are going to be created for mobile payments.
Getting the ecosystem of retailers, merchants, marketers, and customers on the same page is also a learning curve, as are the issues of customer trust and interoperability.
So we have been working very hard, and we try to implement with the banks, with the transportation company, with the retailers, the whole ecosystem that is needed for that. It's quite a long story because you have to get people on the same page at the same pace. So it takes some time to make this happen, but we finally made it.
Operator and bank brands are crucial to the relationship building process, but both also need to bear in mind that user experience and ease of use is key. From the GSMA's Mobile Money Summit here in Singapore, this is Sylvie Barak for RCR Wireless News, cashing out.